I feel like in the last after COVID, the Jewish community just expanded a lot here in South Florida, especially,
So that's a good thing.
yeah, it's a great thing. I mean,
Right.
I kind of wish it was 10 years ago like that too, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because, in the end of the day, you need to help yourself. Because as
Right.
you know, and I know, nobody will help you.
Nobody will help you.
Nobody will help you. I
Nobody
mean,
will,
not your parents, not your cousins,
Right.
not your friends. One of the things you have to understand, Eyal, and the people in the audience have to understand is that events is actually one of the biggest ways to get new leads, new partnership, and new connections.
I came to this country when I was 16 years old with zero in my pocket. And from there, I worked myself up. I knew what I wanted. You have to have a vision. And you need to have fire in the belly. Hello, everybody. Today we have the pleasure of having with us Tom Grobman. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
I hear great things about you, and your story is amazing.
Appreciate that.
Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so, I came from Israel. I was born in Israel, moved about 10 years ago. And my dream was always to level up, I always, since a young kid, I was always in the entrepreneurship. I used to play basketball before for years. But then when I kind of saw that I'm not going to be, a major basketball player, I said, screw it. I'm going to just go all into entrepreneurship, business. My family is always motivated and we always been into getting better and always looking to move forward in our life. And so when I came to United States, it was actually very hard. In the first 2 years, we wanted to go back every single day. I remember I was, we were crying, like a young kid.
What age did you come here?
I was 13.
13 years old?
Yeah, I was 13. Yeah, imagine you coming, no friends, no support, right? We
Right.
sold everything we have in Israel. And we came here, with the money that we sold a house, and that's pretty much it.
Your whole family.
Yeah, yeah.
What
my
made the family decide? Why did they decide to move here?
So it's a good question. We were able to get a green card, and we won it. And when we got it, we said, you know what? This is our chance. This is the good timing. This is our chance to go and achieve the American dream.
Okay.
My parents were in a trip before when they were young, and they saw America, and they always had it in the back of their mind.
So the parents wanted a better life for you guys.
Exactly. You're talking about the next level, right?
There you go. Right.
That's what they were looking to do for us, to take us to the next level,
Right.
as you are saying. And that's how we started. I joined a school, like I mentioned, no friends, no support, had to figure everything by my own, didn't spoke the language. And
Where did you move to? What state?
So we were thinking either New York or Boca, but we landed on Boca. The schools there were good at that time. There was somehow a Jewish community. It's not what it is today, though.
Why?
Feel like in the last after COVID, the Jewish community just expanded a lot here in South Florida, especially,
So that's a good thing.
yeah, it's a great thing. I mean,
Right.
I kind of wish it was 10 years ago like that too, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then, I joined the school, finished that, then graduated, went to college, and just said to myself, you know what? I'm 18 at that time. I wanted to go bigger. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start my life when I was 18 rather than wait until I'm graduating from college and
Right.
I'll do all those stuff. So 18, I joined a financial firm. I started, working with a lot of developers, real estate investors.
Did you finish your high school?
Yes. I finished my high school here in America, here in Boca. And then I joined a financial firm. So we started to work. But then, Eyal, I figured out that the first problem that I didn't have no connection, right? Like I have my friends in high school, but I didn't really have a good connection in terms of, people like yourself or other people. And I was like, you know what? How can I get in touch with them? Like,
Right.
what can I do to get to the big leagues, right? And I understand, I can make it as an excuse and be like, oh, I just moved from a different country. I'm young and this and that. But I was like, you know what? This is not right. So what I did is I actually started to fly all around the country, spending a lot, like all of the money that I had, I will spend it all just to meet the right people. I will
So
go
business-wise or
business-wise.
not for dating?
No. Not for dating at all. I mean, I didn't care about that at that time. I was just wanting to go to a bigger level.
I feel like a lot of Israelis, okay, they're very motivated and very ambitious, okay? They need to go to the next level at that age. If you know, everybody wants to achieve something.
Well, you know,
The American dream.
yeah. I agree with that. I feel like in the last 10 years, the social media and
Right.
people see, the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, the jet, they're like, wait a second, like, I can do that too.
I want the same thing.
And so a lot of people see that today. It's very, it's you see
Very
it-
inspiring.
Yes, you scroll it every day and you see them like, wow, how can I do it? And so
Right.
that's why I feel like it's not just Israelis or Jewish or Christian. It doesn't matter. Like I feel like everybody is going towards that route and they want to be just more successful and
But I
they
feel like a lot of Israelis, they have the fire in the belly.
yeah.
Right? At a very young age.
I mean, Israelis are just very, very mature for their age. So
They
I
have
think,
to be.
yes, because of the army,
Right.
because of what we're going through,
Right.
in our life. I feel like that's helping us. We don't need to wait until 24, 25 to really understand our life. We can
Right,
figure it out
right.
at 18. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's pretty much it. Started to spend a lot of money and time, flew all around the country, just working on my communication skill, right? You have to imagine you're going to an event with 1,000 people. I didn't know how to come up to people.
Right.
And then I said, you know what? I'll just go and figure it out. So I went, shake some hands, used to say, hey, I like your shoes, what do you do for a living? And started to get that traction from people. And then I said, you know what? That's not where I need to be. There's people in the VIP section that worth a lot more than I was. I need to go to that section. And so spend even more money. And, then I find myself, sitting at those events, with people that started their business for over $1 billion.
Mhm. So what did you want to accomplish? What sector of business?
Yeah, so basically, it's a good question. I mean, I wanted to accomplish, first of all, connections, right? Eyal, I'm a big believer that once I'm connected to you, we can do a lot of stuff together.
Right,
It doesn't have to
right,
be
right,
what
right.
I'm doing or what you're doing. It can be a lot of stuff. We can
Great.
build partnerships. We can build businesses. I can introduce you to people,
Mm-hmm.
So that was the intention. Of course, we work with a lot of people in that section, helping them with, like tax efficiency strategy, estate planning, asset protection. A lot of real estate people need that. And thanks God, we pretty good at what we do. And so I had thanks God, a lot of success with that, getting a lot of clients for those events. But that was not my intention, Eyal. My intention was just to get to the right people, getting to know them, learn more about what is it that they do, and then just connect the dots.
So that was a positive experience for you.
Yeah, and until today, I'm continuing to doing it just on a better scale.
Right. So now you're based in Boca?
Now I'm based in Boca. I'm about to move to Miami in the next 3 months, actually.
Why Miami?
Miami is a great city. Miami is a great city, especially for young people. I mean,
Right.
for adults too. I mean, I think it's a great city for everybody.
Right,
I like the energy there. I like a lot of private equity groups, real estate groups are coming there. Miami is great market, great people.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
I see myself in the next 10 years just exploding. I mean, in the last 10 years, I was trying to really maximize my time in the last 3 to 4 years. But in the next 10 years, my goal is just to 10x what I already have, right now, and just be bigger. Like I want to be connected. I want to have my events all over the country. I want to have my podcast running in tremendous way, helping to a lot of people. I want my practice in the financial place to grow a lot. So that's kind of the goals there.
So you see yourself as a mentor, you see yourself as an influencer, or
So
above?
yeah. So basically, I started in the business place, in the finance space, and then I realized that I was looking at people like Grant Cardone, Andy Elliott, even like real estate people, business people, and I realized that now in today's days, they don't look just to be a real estate people. They want to be mentors. They want to help people. They want to build communities. They do podcasts. They do all the above, like you mentioned.
Right.
And I was thinking about it one day. I was like, wait a second. Why do I have to also not pivot and just do one thing? I can do it all. You know what I mean? And so I said, I can help people guide. I can help people, teach them about networking skills and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of things I know other than business that
But you want to focus on one thing, or you want to
So what
do
I'm
many
doing,
things.
so what I'm doing right now is is I'm building businesses on top of each other. So it's like a circle in a way. I'll explain to you. So I have my my finance business, right? And then that grew to the podcast business, because then what happened is I was meeting a lot of successful individuals, and I get this question all the time on my Instagram, like, hey Tom, we see you learning from them, we see you connecting to people that do over $1 billion in revenue, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenues in their businesses. Like, we want to learn more that the stuff that you learn. And I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. I can do a podcast, connect with those people, learn more from them, and it's a win-win situation for them too, as well as for me. And then I can also share it with the audience, what I learned from them, right? And then I said, you know what, there is another, just came recently that I told you, there is another idea that came up to me. I was like, wait a second, now I have people just like yourself, other people that are very successful, and I can do an events. I can bring them to high exclusive places, have them on events, let them connect also with each other, build partnerships, and do a lot of stuff together, but also, possibly share it with the audience, the regular day-to-day people that don't really have access to people in that niche and in that caliber, if that makes sense. So right now what I'm doing is I'm building businesses that funnel all of them together.
Then to come together.
Exactly.
Under one head.
Exactly.
Got it. Right. And so, by the way, today it's all about you, right? If you have any question about me at the end or anytime, feel free to ask questions.
Of course.
Today is about you.
I love it.
Good.
And thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So I always like, we meet people, okay, all over the world. People can contact us. I get call from Australia.
Wow.
I get, Germany. And people wants to know what's next. How do you go to the next level? And I see that those people are very young and ambitious, and they're very hungry, and they have the fire in the belly. I love when I see that, because I believe that today people are just not. They're very lazy. They just want to go 9 to 5. They don't want to punch a clock. They want to stay home and, I don't know, be influencer, but with no purpose.
Yep.
Okay. But when you have a purpose in life, okay, and you get up and it's a beautiful day, like we are in South Florida, and you have the fire in the belly, sky's the limit.
I agree with that. I think especially here in America, for the audience that kind of look at it, I feel like America is the best place. Like
the best place in the world.
The best place by far. I mean, the opportunity here, whether you're, like you mentioned, in Australia and Germany, and you might have the thoughts of like maybe moving here, I would say do it any freaking day.
Right.
The opportunities here, I feel like for young people here in this country, if they really want to achieve something, it's not a cliche, the sky.
There is golden street, literally.
Yes,
but you have to go pick it up. Okay.
But here's the thing, Eyal. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. Also, there is a big problem with Israel. They think is the same thing. So I'll tell you. There's a lot of people that think that they're going to come to America and they're going to money going to fall off of them from the trees, from like anything. And sadly to tell you guys, it's not how it works here. I mean, this country built on working hard, extremely hard. Failure is not.
I give you a little story. My wife, grandfather, he came from Germany, right? During World War II, okay? Came off the boat. It's like, okay, where's the gold? Literally was going to the floor.
She asked that
one. They tell me there's Golden Street, okay?
Wow.
But figuratively, there is Golden Street, but you got to go pick it up. You got to go find it. You got to pull it up,
I agree with that. I mean, a lot of people, they see the opportunity, but they're afraid.
They're afraid.
They're afraid. And the reason they're afraid is because they don't have the right people near them. That's the one thing I learned.
I always said you want to be surrounding yourself with smart people. Okay,
I agree.
I always like to be the stupidest man in the room. So when I hire a manager for my property, okay, if they're not smarter than me, okay, what value do they bring to the table?
I agree with that. I think that, people need to surround them with successful people. But the problem is that a lot of people don't know where to get those people. Get what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know.
So network is one thing.
Networking is huge.
That's number one, right? Okay. The next thing is, when you meet people, okay, like I meet so many people during the day, okay, and a lot of them are a waste of time. Okay, I don't have time for that. You can make money. One thing you don't have is time. Right?
I agree.
Because time flies. Before you know it, oh my God, it's already past over, right? I can't believe it's like, we're already, approaching, summer is coming up, okay?
Crazy.
The year didn't start. I thought Christmas was last year, right? But it was like so fast. So you really want to manage your time very wisely. And unfortunately, a lot of people will just suck the blood out of you, and they just want to take your time. And you know what? With all the respect, okay, you got to be rude. Sometimes you got to be rude. You know what? I got to go. I don't have time. Or give them 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay? Unless you think they're going to bring value to your organization.
I agree.
Now, to go for a cup of coffee after 5, that's a conversation. Weekend for friends, that's different. But for business-wise, okay, well, you want to waste time.
Eyal, I have to share with you, when I started, kind of back to what you just said, when I started, I had a lot of conversation that I did, but I was not Christians about that. I was not seeing, okay, is that meeting going to help me, or is that meeting going to take my time out?
Right.
And in the last 2 years, that's the biggest change that I did. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to spend more time with people that I feel like are not giving me any value, and I'm just going to speak to people that I know there's absolutely value.
Even
in
if you have to be rude sometime.
Even if I have to be rude, it's
right.
not. It's a rude in a good way, because in the end of the day, you need to help yourself. Because as you know, and I know, nobody will help you.
Nobody will help you.
Nobody will help you. I mean, not your parents, not your cousins,
Right.
not your friends. They're probably even, they'll want the best for you, but I'm sure there is something.
You need to be the one to pull the trigger.
Exactly.
Right.
Nobody will do it for you. And a lot of people, we talked about America, a lot of people think that, I'm going to come here, people are going to help me, I'm going to get donations and this and that. No, it doesn't work
People
like
need
that.
to help themselves. Right.
People need to
Right,
take their
right.
life serious, because
Exactly.
they need to understand that nobody will get it for them.
Right. Interesting. Have you been back to Israel? Not yet.
Yeah, I was actually just there in February. I tried to. Yeah, what the biggest change that I did this year is I said, you know what, I need to be mobile. I need to go from places to meet new people every single day. So one thing I did for me is I changed my schedule, and then now almost every month I travel to a new country, to a new city here in America, whatever I can. I just travel, because I understand that networking and collaborating with other people, that's the biggest key. Just like in real estate, just like in business,
Right.
just like in everything, you need people. Without people, you'll not be able to achieve anything in this life. And so that's why literally next month I'm going to go to New York. I was just in Vegas in an event. Every single month I'm going to...
Tell us, walk us through an event.
Yeah, so basically...
How many people and...
Yeah. So
stuff like that.
basically, I started going to a lot of, for example, the 10X events with Grant Cardone,
Okay,
who's a
interesting.
big real estate investor. He's bringing a lot of people
You
with
know
him.
what 10X stands for, right?
Yeah, 10X is...
What does it stand for?
I think 10X stands for just whatever you're doing, 10X that.
Exactly. Of course, you can't 10X your money.
Nah,
It's not.
Some people see it as like, I'm gonna 10X.
No, but 10X everything in life.
Exactly.
Right,
Relationship,
Right.
physically, mentality,
Right.
everything you can just, get better in that.
Yeah.
And so you asked me about events, Eyal. The way it works is that every year there is tons of events in the country, in the United States, in Florida, and this and that. One of the things you have to understand, Eyal, and the people in the audience have to understand, is that events is actually one of the biggest ways to get new leads, new partnership, and new connections. Now, a lot of people saying, "Oh, wait, Tom, like, why would I go to those events? It's just a waste of my time." Well, it's a waste of your time if you don't know how to network. That's the biggest change. If you know how to network, and if you know how to come to billionaires, multi-millionaires, and know how to be invaluable for them,
Right.
you can make
Wow.
a lot of connections
So do
with
you
that.
approach them?
So
Walk
basically,
us through from A to Z, please.
well, look, in the beginning it was hard. I didn't know how to say, what to say.
Right.
It was really hard. I mean, I worked on my self-confidence in the beginning, because in the end of the day, it's all
all about yourself.
self-confidence.
You have to work
It's
on
all
yourself.
about self-confidence. So
Absolutely.
you have to go through a lot of
Absolutely.
like, not the, huge networking event, just to practice your
Right.
self-confidence, be
Right.
confident in coming to people. And then over the years, I realized that, people living with billions of dollars, they just the same people as us.
Of course.
They live the same, they have the
They
same,
go to the bathroom the same way.
they go to the bathroom in the same way, they eat the same, they're all the same.
Right,
Just
right,
people with a lot of success.
Right.
And so when I realized that, my mentality became a lot more strong, because I was not stressed anymore to come to them. I realized, okay, well, like we're the same thing. The fact that he has more money doesn't mean anything. I can make that money
Money
too.
better than me.
Exactly.
Not any better than me or
So
anybody
it's not a
else.
barrier anymore.
Right.
And then when I realized that, it became so easy. Now I come to billionaires, not a problem. I just come to them. I'll tell them what I do. I'll tell them maybe about the podcast that I have, and I'll tell them, look, Now, actually, the biggest thing for me and how I'm able to network with a lot of billionaires is that I know a lot of other qualified people. And just because I know a lot of qualified people, imagine that. That's not even about the money. So the first thing they ask me is, who do I know? Who can I connect them with? They don't ask me about how much money I make this year. They don't ask me about where do I live. They don't care about any of that, Eyal. They don't care about any of that. What they care about is, what can I offer them?
What kind of value can you bring to the table? It doesn't matter where the value comes from.
Exactly. Just like you mentioned, the value is the biggest thing.
Exactly.
And so now, Eyal, after 4 years in that field, knowing the biggest developers, the biggest real estate people, the biggest business owners, now I have a lot of value in this phone. You know what I mean? And so that's what they're looking for.
So if I'm a billionaire, okay, why should I talk to you? You're a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. For example, let's say you're a billionaire, and I know, and let's say you, I don't know, a real estate billionaire. Okay. Well, real estate, as you know, it's all about people. And let's say I bring you to one of my events, and I'm going to introduce you to other hundreds of millions of dollars people net worth, and I'm going to connect you with them. You're already sold.
Of course, sold.
So you see how you didn't even ask me about how much money do I have, what's my age,
care. It's
nothing.
It's not important. It's important what
if I'm
value
gonna
you can bring.
Exactly. What if I'm going to tell you, hey, Eyal, you're a billionaire, that's all great. I'm going to get you to, next week I'm going to do an event on a jet with tons of people that you should connect. I would love to have you on. That's it.
I like to come. Got it.
So that's now
understood.
In the last 4 years, that's what I was able to bring to the table and connecting with the best of the best.
Wow. So getting back to the event, so there was an event in Vegas, you said?
Yeah, it was last month I was in Vegas.
In Vegas, very nice. Where in Vegas?
It was in the MGM Grand.
It's a big name, right?
MGM Grand, like close to 7,000 people.
7,000 people.
Yeah.
So what do? You walk around, you have business cards?
So, I mean, and a lot of people ask me that. So, Eyal, what I do is I don't.
By the way, you can share anything. Anything you say.
Yeah, I share everything.
Our audience, they love to meet, people with fire in the belly.
Yeah, for sure.
New ideas, whatnot. Okay.
So I'll share with you this. I mean, it's not a secret. I used to give out the first 5 events. I used to give out my business cards, and now what I realized it was the biggest mistake I ever did to myself, because what happened is the people took those business cards and they'll throw them out
so many
after 10 minutes.
Right.
So
not your fault. There's so many business cards.
So that was the biggest thing. What I changed, Eyal, is I said, you know what? Now it's not about me just handing out business cards. It's me just understanding which people do I need to meet. I understand that there is, let's say, 7,000 people in the room, but I don't need all of the 7,000. I need the biggest of whoever is the biggest top 100 here, that's what I need.
So you want quality.
Exactly.
Not quantity.
Exactly. So a lot of people do this mistake. They'll go to the event. Oh, I just got 100 names, for example.
Right.
But let's say those 100 names are maybe net worth altogether $1 million. But I'd rather go to somebody who owns, for example, $100 million revenue, just one. I'll make a lot more money with this guy than 100 of people together.
So you're thinking outside the box.
I think outside the box. I think about how can I make the top of the top in that specific event.
Right.
So what I'll do, for example, is I'll go to those events and I'll be like, okay, who I know, but who is kind of getting attention, for example.
Right.
So let's say that was the 10X event. It's called a Gross Conference event. And let's say Grant was talking about a couple of guys in the stands, for example. He gives them attention. So now I'm like, okay, Grant is talking about those people. There's probably something in it that they're successful, that they grab his attention.
Right.
I might as well go to them as well.
Right.
So what do you know? Let's say they walk in the hallway. I'm like, oh, I saw that Grant talked to you. He said a lot of good stuff. Man, what do you do for your business? I mean, super excited to get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll share with me what I do. And I'll be like, oh, by the way, man, I can introduce you to this, that. And I was like, how do you know this, and that? How do you know those people? And I'll tell them, look, I run a big podcast. I have a lot of, some of them are my clients, this and that. And all of a sudden, he's now invested into me rather than I invested into him.
So I take it you're not shy.
I'm not shy.
You can't be shy in this business.
Oh, can be shy. In any business, you can be shy. But, a lot of people see that today. But let me tell you this. In reality, I was shy. I was shy in the beginning. I didn't know how to do it. Now, yeah, the biggest problem that I had is that nobody led me. Nobody led me. I had to figure everything by my own. Even when I started to go to those events, nobody teach me like how the hell you coming for a billionaire. Like how do you come to people just like yourself? How do you come to them? What do you tell them? You're a young guy. Nobody knows you. You came from a different country.
You're full of energy. That's for one.
So that's I agree with you. So energy is the biggest thing. You have to be energetic. That's why I always tell to the people, to my audience, is like you have to be happy. First of all, you have to be happy.
So you don't want to be with negative people.
I don't like negative
That's
people.
why I have no friends. Everybody's negative. So I have very, very, very little friends because people that come across, they're very negative. I know the news is bad. Don't remind me, okay?
I like that. I like that. And I'm with you. You know, I feel like
Right.
negative friends will take you down.
Absolutely.
You know, I have this, I'll share with you. Now I'm working on building even more the brand, and I want to start a mentorship and this and that. And I call my friends. I'm saying like, hey, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, like launching this and that, you know, helping entrepreneurs to network and, you know, help them to share
Right.
with me what I know.
Right.
And guess what, Eyal? Everybody, we're laughing, same thing. It's like a cycle. They laugh at you. Then they ask you, oh, how are you able to get it? Then they're like, oh, can I join you? So there's always like this cycle in life. And, you know, when I told them about it and they laughed at me like, oh, what can you offer and this and that, I said to myself, you know what? From next time, I'm not going to be sharing with people that didn't do what I did. Because you'll never find people that do better than you to tell you, oh, you should not do that. You get what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing I said to myself is like, I'm not sharing with anybody that don't have what I want to have, my ideas or my potential or what's next for me. Because why? They'll always take you down. They'll tell you, oh, you'll never be successful in that. You will never be able to do. Rather than if you're coming to a person that did that, he'll tell you, yeah, sure, go for it. Try it out. Fail,
Right.
you know, like see if you can do it.
Right.
Just the
right.
mentality.
I think it's a mindset.
It's all mindset.
It's a mindset because it's what you plan, okay, is what you give to the world, you're going to get back. Yes?
I agree with that. I think that, you know, giving back and even to, you know, I started, you know, we're both Jewish. I started also trying to give out to charity and stuff like that. And not just giving out money, just to give out, you know, helping in the community. That's something I really want to make sure I do this year. Maybe to go to, you know, I don't know, like hospitals or people where there's adults that don't have, you know, that unfortunately not that successful, don't have those, just to help out, you know, see what I can help.
You feel like you want to pay it forward.
Yeah.
Want to pay it forward. Tell the audience if they want to reach you, how can they reach you?
Yeah, so they can reach me on my Instagram on Tom Grobman, TomGrobman, and then they can reach us on also the podcast page, Tom Talks Success. And yeah, guys, if you need anything, if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about what I'm doing or what Eyal is doing, make sure to reach out to us. You know, make sure you surround yourself with people just like ourselves that always want to go bigger, and we'll take you guys to the next level too, like you mentioned. You know what I mean?
Right.
So thank you for having me, man.
Thank you. Do you have any question for me?
Yeah, sure. So I want to know, Eyal, so you always mentioning about going to the next level and expanding. What is it about you that want to go to the next level?
So, you know, I am a firm believer that people are very comfortable, you know, in the surrounding. Meaning, they're very comfortable making a living, whether they make $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, or they're very comfortable with their commercial property. For example, they own retail, they own office buildings.
They have some cash flow coming in.
Okay. But I'm trying to to tell the audience, okay, there is more to life than commercial real estate, meaning multifamily. Why multifamily, right? Multifamily rent always going up every single year, right? Recession-proof, okay? People need a place to live. So in multifamily, there is a tremendous wealth, okay, you can tap into, more than retail. For example, okay, retail, let's say you buy a triple net Walgreen, right? So it's a coupon book. You go every month, you go to the mailbox, you pick up a check.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, 5% a year, 6%, 7%, and there is nothing wrong with that. It will not take you to the next level, where we're looking at a 25%, mid-20 returns every single year.
Eyal, what is so you talk about
And by the way, the mid-20s, that's an average. Usually it's more.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the next level for you in terms of like, is it like money? Is it like a certain money goal that you want to make?
It's
Is
not
it
really,
like,
no, you know what it is? We
is it
love
like
to...
buy a jet maybe soon? Or?
Nah, I don't care about that. Those are all, material things. It's all about, for example, we're looking at property. We're looking right now in plantation, 400 units, right? 400 units, okay? And for us, it's an art. What do you do with that? How do you take the property to the next level, right? It's the next level.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you take it to the next level? We provide, okay, amenities for a tenant, okay, that they love to come back to us. Why is my charge rent, okay, my collection, right, versus the charge rent is 101%, okay, for the month, okay? Because tenant understand, okay, what it takes to come to our communities.
I see.
Right? So it's for us like it's an art. Like we love to take something and make it even better.
So, what is the next goal for you in the next like couple of years? What would you say?
Next goal to us, we're going to expand our portfolio to 10,000, 15,000 units.
Nice.
God willing. And
Let's
we like to provide the best services to our tenant. We believe our tenants, okay, are very important, just like our partners. Because
Right.
At the end of the day, it's a partnership.
Yep, it is. It is a partnership. I agree.
Right.
Eyal, I want to ask you last question here. What do you think? Why are you building all of this like social media and want to give out to people and help them? What is it about you that makes you excited about
number one, okay, I don't charge. Okay, we have a Instagram platform, right? That it's a lot of fun stuff. Okay, I like to make my audience laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have the YouTube, okay, that it's very important, okay. And if you guys like what you see, please press subscribe. It will really help our cause. And press like. We have a podcast, okay, with important people.
Yeah.
Also, we have what they call a workshop. For example, okay, how to value the property, okay, how to do the diligence. Do you realize that, let's say you're looking at the property, right? 200 units, okay? The seller says, yeah, there's about $3 million coming in or $4 million coming in. How do you verify that?
Yeah.
So most people, they don't know. They look at the leases. Yeah, sure, money coming in. I'm looking for bank statements. I want to see actual money coming in. And by the way, I know what's real, what's not real when money coming in.
Yeah.
So that's stuff like that, I don't want my people to make mistake.
So you want to just help out clearly.
I want to help out, yeah.
Just so people can
I
be
love
better.
it. And people DM me for deals, okay, and I tell them what's the right price, what to buy, what not, with price break point so they can.
Do you feel you're putting too much energy and time into it, or do you feel it's worth it for you?
I'm a multitask. I can do a thousand things at the same time. For me, I can be on a plane. I can be anywhere. I can be on vacation and help people.
So you're always working.
I'm always working. I sleep too. Don't worry.
Well, Eyal, what a true pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm sure the audience got a lot from me today.
Right.
How they can find you? Tell them how they can find you.
Thank you. Well, it's very clear. It's my first and last name. Eyal. Last name is Mehaber. I'm everywhere.
Pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you.